Hello, good night. Hello, it's Tuesday. And it's Tuesday, right? Yes, it is Tuesday. And I'm here by myself right now because Twins is going to be late because he has parental obligations and good for him. I am so happy I no longer have those level of parental obligations. I'm free, bitches, because I have a grown adult child. So you're going to be with me for a little bit until Twins jumps in to the chat and jumps on to chat with us. I am doing another Q&A session. Last week's session was so good. I decided that we needed to do it again. So here I am. I feel like I was rushing because I thought I was late, and then I saw Twins' message, and Twins said he was going to be late. Can I tell you one of the things I miss about being in a relationship with somebody I live with? The ability to have somebody zip up my dress. My dress is not zipped up. The back of my dress is not zipped up. And I really wanted to put on this dress, and I was running late, and I was trying to do all of the things to get this dress to be zipped up. And I thought, I remember when I used to just live with someone and I'd be like, babe, and he would do this. I almost like dislocated my damn hand trying to zip up my dress. So yeah, the perks of being in a relationship, somebody to zip up your dress. It's the little things, people. Yeah, so we're gonna do a quick Q&A session. Last week's was amazing. We really got some insight. Twins was on fire, giving it to everybody. It was raw, real truth in this relationship chronicles that we're doing. I have the link in the comment section, so if you have anything to add during tonight's show, if you want to ask us a question during tonight's show, if you want to tell us a relationship success or a relationship horror story, or you might disagree with some of the commentary that we have to say, click the link in the bio, come backstage, and you will be able to join the show. You do not have to have your camera on if you do not want to. We are okay if we just hear the voice. But again, if you want to join, it's in the comment section. I pinned it at the top. You click there, I will bring you into the show and you go from there. So this is normally where I ask Twins how his weekend was. And so I'm just going to talk about my weekend. It was interesting. I had a very, very interesting weekend. Um, it was a long weekend here as well as it was in the US. I don't know the other countries that celebrate Labor Day, but Canada and the US definitely celebrated Labor Day. And so I had an extra day, but I really had a enlightening weekend. I think that would be the word I would use for my weekend. It was very enlightening, very low key. I stayed home most of the weekend. I was home Sunday and Monday. I did go out on Saturday with my crew. We did a little day party vibe. Let me tell you something about when you age and you get over the age of 40. Like, I can't tell you the last time I went to a party that started at like midnight. Because if I'm going to a party that starts at midnight, I'm taking like 2 naps during the day. I'm doing stretches. I'm drinking gallons of water to regulate. It's a whole thing. Like, I just realized, like, night parties, no, but day parties all day. I get to go out. I get to have a good time. I party. I come home, take a shower, and I can sit down and watch Dateline NBC by like 10, 11 o'clock. It's amazing. So the time I would normally be leaving is the time I'm coming home, and I had a great time. Day parties, whoever came up with the day party, thank you so much, because it was the best idea for us more mature people, because I'm not yet old, but I'm definitely more mature. So that was my weekend. I might have more to tell. We'll see how, what happened on my weekend progresses. For you never know what stories I might be able to tell in the upcoming months, but I definitely had an amazing, lovely weekend. Let me tell you something about dating before I get into these questions, because I'm actually waiting to see how long Twins is going to take. I'm realizing as I'm back on this dating market, how we overcomplicate dating. And dating, I talk about this all the time. If you watch this show, I talk about this quite often. We overcomplicate dating, and dating can be such a simple thing. If you allow yourself to be vulnerable, let's start there. And if you allow yourself to be a safe space for someone else to be vulnerable. And I think that's the difficult part I feel as if people are having with dating is they're neither a safe space or they don't have the ability to be vulnerable. And you can't be a safe space if you don't know how to be vulnerable because you don't know how to accept somebody else's vulnerability, right? You view it as something else. And we use words soft and whatever words that are used to describe men when they want to be vulnerable. But the funny thing is, if you are a safe space for a man to be vulnerable because you also have the ability to be vulnerable, you would be surprised how effortless, and that's the best word I can use, how effortless dating can be when you decide to go in that direction. And I know for a lot of people, that's difficult because vulnerability can be taken as weakness, and then people use your weaknesses against you. But the reality is, if that's how you feel about the person you're getting to know, why are you spending time getting to know them? Now, this is my profound moment that I would drop the mic. Um, we need to question ourselves because we control who we bring in our life. And I'm just noticing as, I'm dating, how effortless certain people dealing with certain people are, and then some people it takes a bit of effort. And I think at that point you're just like, this is not my person, because the person that you end up with, things should feel effortless. You should not feel as if you need to put up a wall or pretend you're something that you're not. The person kind of accepts you for everything that you are. And I think that's the part that we need to be thinking about. And it's a feeling. There's a spiritual feeling, I think, when you meet that person who you're able to be safe with, and who's able to be really safe with you. There's just this, and I can't even describe it, but it's something that you feel. And again, it just is effortless. There's no pretentiousness. Um, there's no fakeness. There's no need to. I mean, I don't. There's no need to be guarded. I think that's the best part. There's no need to be guarded. It's almost like as soon as you're in that person's presence, it's it's there's a calm, um, and that's a good sign. And I think sometimes people think calm is boring. There are people who think this is too calm, this is too good to be true. But relationships fundamentally are boring. They're not supposed to be these exciting things that are always sparking. You always find when things are like that, eventually you have to calm down, right? You know what? When your heartbeat's racing when you're working out, that's not the rate it's at all the time. Your heart operates when it's calm, right? When it's at a certain level. Your heart rate's not always spiked, because if it's spiked, there is a problem. So in relationships, you're supposed to have that same calm level, right? It's not, everything's not supposed to be spiked, spiked, spiked all the time. It's supposed to be calm and it's supposed to be effortless. So I can tell you that that's something that I've learned over my 20 years, and my next relationship will definitely feel like that. It will be that effortless calm that is so important to have in our relationship. Okay, Twins is actually telling me he will be joining in 7 minutes. So apparently I have to be talking to myself for the next 7 minutes, because I do not want to start answering the questions, because the issue with that is I really do want the male perspective. The male perspective on some of these questions are really good. But I do want people to let me know as you watch this on the replay, and those that are here, is do you think that Twins and I should maybe create our own cards? Because we are using the Tonight's Conversation cards, and I feel as if, no disrespect to the makers of these cards, some of the questions are a little bit juvenile. They're not very mature questions. They tend to focus on body count and there's constant cheating things, and there's nothing that really stretches you and makes you think. And I would love to have um I guess a tool for people to have effective communication about issues that matter, especially at our big age. I like to say that, right? Like, the show is not for 20 year old. It's barely for 30-year olds, right? It's when you're in your late 30s, I'd say our show is more late 30s, early 40s into 50s and 60s. Like this is for grown, mature people who are beyond some of these petty questions. Anyway, in the interest of time, I am going to start actually without twins and start asking these questions again. If you have a question for me, or a question for twins, or a question for both of us, click the link in the comment section. You will be able to come on the show. You'll go backstage. I'll be able to let you in to the show, or you can simply put your questions in the chat. That's fine. And we will also answer those questions. And again, if you have a comment on the questions that we're answering, please also put that commentary in the chat. So here we go. If a woman is making a man wait for 90 days before having sex with him, is he obligated to stop having sex with other women during that time? Explain. I mean, the simple answer is no. First of all, no one's obligated to do anything. People choose to do things. And if a man is dating a woman who has made it clear to him that she is not ready to commit to a physical relationship with him, and he decides to stick around, he can do what he wants. They're not in a relationship. That's why they're not intimate, because they're not in a relationship. So he is not the one who is celibate or whatever journey that woman may be on. So no, nobody's obligated to do anything. If he chooses to do it, then that's one thing, but he's not obligated. And I think what gets tricky in this 90-day thing is I feel like there are some men, ladies, who will wait you out, and this 90-day happens, and he's done. He gets what he wants and he's gone. So you really have to think about, when you're setting these rules, what is the goal? Like mine's is like no sex before relationship. If we're not in a relationship, why are we having sex, right? You haven't even committed yourself to me, but you want me to commit my body to you. No, I'm not going to do that. I would hope a man wouldn't decide to be in a relationship with me, have sex with me, and then leave. You would hope not. But again, during the time that you're getting to know somebody, going back to what I said earlier about vulnerability and effortlessness and so forth, you should be able to suss that out. Again, because I think, again, we talk about this all the time on the show, attention versus intention. You should be able to understand if a man is intentional with you, if a man is just showing you attention. A man who is just showing you attention, trust me, it's not sustainable for a period of time as he waits for you to have sex. I have not yet met a man who's that patient. I have met men who definitely will give you a couple of weeks of waiting you out. I had a guy recently, I met him, he took me on like a lunch date one time, and then 2 ice cream dates. And in his mind, he thought that he had somehow put in time, because I told him I do not have sex until I'm in a relationship, and that, it had been quite a significant amount of time since I've been in a relationship. And in his mind, he said, well, not even his mind, he basically said to me, well, I don't know how you expect a man to wait that long who's investing time with you. We had not had a real conversation on the phone. He had taken me to Moxie's, and we had had 2 ice creams. And that, I guess, to him was a significant amount of time. Granted, I have not heard back from that man in weeks, because I was like, significant amount of time. Trust me, there is someone in my life who is putting in a significant amount of time in me, and there is a difference. There's a huge difference. So ladies, do not miss the signs of when a man is just kind of waiting you out versus a man who's actually taking that time without the physical intimacy to get to know you. Because trust and believe, when you see it, when you feel it, like you know it, and there's nothing like it. So next question. Your significant other wants you to include the mother or father of their child in the wedding party. Is this entirely out of the question? Explain. Your significant other wants you to include the mother or father of their child in the wedding party. Is this entirely out of the question? Explain. Yup. I don't see why the mother or father of a child, no, no, thank you. No, it is up for discussion whether they should be invited to the wedding. I think, I recently actually had this conversation about something very similar, about inviting, the mother or father of your child to the wedding. And the perspective I heard was such an insightful perspective in terms of how your partner may feel about this, and being focused on your wedding and not the fact that there is someone else there that, had that type of significant relationship with you to the point where you have a child together, especially if you and your partner don't have a child, right? That person shares an important part of you, and your spouse should not have to be in a space where they're uncomfortable with that. So I think that, hello, how are you? Sorry, this is me. Like, I love your name. Believe half of what you see. I love that name. Um, but yeah, I don't think being in the wedding is something that would happen. And I think you need to take into account your partner's feeling about potentially even having them at the wedding. I don't care how close we are. I don't see why I would have my ex's, my husband's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, mother of child, because she would have had to been the ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend. So mother of their child in my wedding. I don't care how close we are. Like, you're not my, no, I have friends and family. Like, no, thank you. So that, to each his own, but that's just not happening at my wedding. Okay, next question. When dating, do you prefer a person with children or without children? Explain. I'm actually going to hold on to this question until Twins joins me, because I'm probably going to go in. Thank you. I love your name as well, Toshiba. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank my daddy. My daddy did good with my name. I'm gonna wait for Twins, because I'm I'm gonna get some ish from what I probably say, and I need Twins to buffer my answer. Anyways, the next question is: a woman's best friend is a chronic cheater. Her significant other feels uncomfortable and doesn't want them going out together. Is he unreasonable? So no, he's not unreasonable. However, why does he know this information about her cheating? So that would be the question. Why does he know? Yes, I get that. It's definitely pillow talk. Um, uh, no, yeah, there's a couple of things here. He isn't unreasonable, because I don't know any man who wants his woman hanging with a woman who is a known cheater, and not just a known cheater. She's clearly, it's a chronic, which means that she does this all the time. But then the question is, why would you, as a married woman, want to hang out with a woman who's constantly doing that? Because whether we like it or not, marriage changes relationship dynamics, even the relationship dynamics with your friends. My best friend has been married for over 10 years now, and we don't hang out in the same way we did than when she was single. It's a different dynamic. It's not a bad dynamic. It's just the evolution of her life and her marriage. We hang out differently. Most of the time we hang out, her husband's there. Or we all go out together. He's there. This weekend we went to a day party. Of course our husband's there. We all hang out as a group. That's just how it is. My significant other would be there. The dynamics change. So I'm not sure that I would be comfortable in a dynamic where my friend is bringing around men that she's always, it's just, yeah, it's not something that I want for myself. So I don't know if I would probably distance myself away from a friend like this who was always cheating, especially when I'm a married woman, because as a married woman, I only want people in my life who are going to encourage that marriage, right? Like, be good for that marriage. So if I have a friend who's a known cheater, I just don't want that type of energy around my marriage personally. That's just me, but everybody is different. Hey, Mr. Yes, Twins is on his way. He's left me to be by myself. Twins has parental duties that I don't have. He's actually logging in now, Mr. Because I know this is my show, but God forbid I did the show by myself. Mr. said, I don't want no parts of you by yourself, Toshiba. Where the hell is Twins? So Twins says he is logging in. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds for him to come backstage. And when he pops up, I can get him in here because you said, oh, hell no, Toshiba. Where the hell is where the hell is Twins? I appreciate you, Mr. I have some questions. Mr. I would love for you. I'm still waiting for you to come and join the show to answer some of the questions that we have because I know you have some commentary because I see them in the chat and at the end of the show in the comment section. So come through, Mr. and be a part of the show. I'm going to give it like 30 more seconds, and then I'm hoping that Twins will be online. But how's it going, Mr.? How are things with you? Where in the world are you right now? Where in the world are you right now? Are you going to tell me? Because I know you travel a lot, and I'm literally biding time. Here we go. Here is Twins. Twins! Can you hear me? Yeah. You can't hear me. All right.
Mic check.
Mic check. Listen, Mr. jumped into the show and said, just got here, where's Twins? He was like, Toshiba, I don't know why you're out here doing the show by yourself. Where the hell is Twins?
My bad, y'all. Daddy duty, daddy duty. That's all I'm going to say. Daddy duty.
Okay, he was no parts of me. I'm like, this is my show. You ain't doing this show. I'm not doing this show alone. Anywho, I am glad you were here. A little banter before we get into some of these questions. I was answering some of them by myself and talking to myself. But how was your weekend?
Now, actually, it was great. Nice long weekend. We had 3 days off because we had Monday off for Labor Day. I don't celebrate it.
You actually had Monday. Good for you. You didn't work on the weekend. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. I don't really celebrate the day. I just enjoyed the day off. So I enjoyed my time off from work.
Good for you. I did too. Mine was very low key. I didn't do much of anything.
So what I missed so far?
I had a couple of questions. I tried to do some very simple ones. I was waiting for you. I actually picked a question. I even put it to the side because I was waiting for you because I just don't know if people are going to like my answer. So, want to get right into it?
Oh, let's get to it. Hey, I'm ready. I'm locked in.
And Mr. again, feel free to ask because I know you're in it. Ask your questions in the chat. Click on the link in the bio. Come join the show. Do whatever. Let's do it tonight. We went really after dark. We had like the Q&A edition after dark last week. So that's why I titled it this week because I don't know what I'm going to pull from this pack that's going to have us go off into that realm. Anyways, so here's the first question, Twins. When dating, do you prefer a person with children or without children? Explain.
Okay, that's not a hard one. That's easy. Now, the 28-year-old me would be like, no kids. But now that, I've been married, now divorced, I'm back on the market, So now at 42 now, it's a long time, right? Back in the market, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I did try these apps. But anyway, that's another conversation later. So as far as dating, the lady that I'll talk to, she can have one. Okay, let me go back. My kids are 10 and 12. Okay? So your youngest need to be either 9-ish and up. You can't have any newborns. You can't have.
I would hope they ain't got no newborns because what?
Yeah, you will be shocked. You will be shocked. So, but yes, in a while. I pretty much explained it. You know, how unfair it would be for me, but like, no, you can't have no kids, but meanwhile I got two kids. No, that's something that women do. That's not what most men don't do. I'm just saying, you know, R.I.P.
Stop trying to call me out.
No,
That's
no,
my
no, no, no.
answer.
This ain't got nothing to do with you. Now they do say a hit dog will holler, but I'm just saying though, based on the previous shows from our Godfather Kevin Samuel, he asked these same questions, and ladies were like, "He can't have no kids, but I got kids, but he can't have them." Make it make sense.
So I will answer the question. And Mr. I see that Mr. is actually backstage, and I'm going to bring you up momentarily because finally you are with us. Okay. In my ideal world, because I have an adult child and I have no interest in mothering anybody else's blessing, in my ideal world, the man I end up marrying has no children. In my ideal world, he is an older man with no children, and we get to travel the world because he's not really responsible for my child anymore because she's a full-grown adult. That's me. There's no whatever. Now, that's an ideal world. Realistically, I will take a man with no more than 2 children over the age of 16. I am just not in that phase of my life. And I'd actually prefer them to be like over the age of 18. But realistically, I will do 16 and older, maximum of 2 children with one mother. I'm not doing multiple baby moms. I'm not going into this. Prefer that you actually were in a relationship with this woman and not one of them, oh, I was with somebody and we had 2 babies, but we weren't really together. Like I'm not doing that. So someone you were in a relationship with, maximum 2 children over the age of 16. But in my ideal world, where I am in my life, if he had no children, that would work for me. And Mr. I'm gonna bring you up, Mr. I've added Mr. to the stage. What's up, Mr.?
How you doing?
We are fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just out here being bald and black.
Welcome to the stage, my brother. Glad to have you on the panel. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. You've been very persistent, so I had to finally come through, even though I don't usually come up on panels.
I do what I can. I am in sales, and eventually I get my man. So let's do it, Mr. Are you going to ask us a question, or are you going to answer the questions that I'm pulling? How are we going to do this?
I guess I'm gonna answer some questions.
Okay.
And see where it goes from there.
I love that I've got 2 gentlemen on here ready to answer. Let me make sure I'm going to take the deck and make sure I shuffle it good. Make sure, because this is a privilege for me. I've got 2 gentlemen, ladies, who are here to answer these questions. And these are 2 very honest gentlemen. So I have a show called Fuck Your Feelings. So be prepared that you're going to have to fuck your feelings with some of these answers. So I'm going to pull a card. Let's go. What's the most elaborate or desperate thing an ex has done to try to get back with you?
Desperate. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let that marinate for a minute.
I know, right? I'm not. Give us an example of what that would be.
So a woman's lying and saying she's pregnant. That could be one thing.
I mean, yes, I had that before, definitely.
Stop it! I actually was just pulling one out of nowhere.
No. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
So back in early my young days, so I broke up with this young lady because I found out that she was cheating. Okay, cool, whatever. We was young, whatever. So I broke up with her. And the next day, I'm at work working, and my mom calls me. Say, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey, mom, everything good? Number phone call, And she said, "Hey, come over to so and so's house." I'm like, "What?" And the so and so is the girl's house.
Yeah.
So okay, like, okay. I know what's going on. So I go to the house right after work. My mom, her, and her mom talking, and all of a sudden it comes out that, hey, so my daughter's pregnant. Yeah, just like that. You saw how quiet it got for a second? It got really quiet. And then mom's talking. It was cool, adult conversation. But when her mom said, "Oh, my daughter's not having no child out of wedlock," my mom said, "Okay, time to go." And then the next day, the girl got in an accident because she lied. She tried to come to my job. She didn't have a license, and she totaled her mom's 2005 Escalade truck. And yeah, that's how that went. And she lived. And no, I didn't
Mister, I got nothing. I have nothing to say. Mister, you percolated on that one yet? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, as Twins was talking, I was just remembering one crazy one. My ex told me she got PTSD after our breakup and she was contemplating suicide. And so I had to literally like talk her off the ledge from doing it for about 3 hours on the phone.
Mm.
Ladies, do better. What? That's not normal behavior to try to win a man back by pretending to be pregnant and or threaten to unalive yourself. That sounds like you need to stop having peen and start going to therapy. I can't say that I've had a man do something super elaborate or crazy to get me back, because once I'm done with you, I'm done. Most of my men will know there is no getting me back. I mean, my ex-husband stayed married to me longer than we should have been because he told me that I was the only woman he wanted to marry, but that wasn't really trying to get me back. That was to keep me trapped with him. So no, men don't, yeah, ladies, I have no story, but both men had stories. So ladies, just, yeah, do better.
Well, I have a question.
I'm ready.
If that's not normal, then why do 100% of the men on your panel have stories like that?
That is why I'm talking to the ladies, because that's just, I have never encountered those scenarios in my particular friend group. When relationships end, the women may have a good cry. We may go out and go drink or go to a club or something or have a sleepover, but I've never had one of my girlfriends say, well, I'm gonna go call and pretend to be pregnant, or I've just never had those experiences, nor have I ever even thought about doing something like that. I just, if someone does not want me, what makes me think that they're gonna want me when I do something that, are you gonna want her even more after you realize she's mentally unstable because she's threatening to unalive herself? Are you gonna want her more because she literally wasted your mom's time by sitting down and lying about potentially having your child? No, you're gonna want nothing to do with her. So to me, and again, I'm hoping these were younger women. Let's just say they were. How old was the young lady, Mr. He's laughing, Mr. How old was your young lady? God, please.
To answer your first question, no, not younger women. Same age as me. I'm 40.
Oh, this was recently?
Well, I'm 40 now, but this happened when I was 38.
Only a couple years ago.
I was hoping he was going to say 23, because then my argument would have been, well, our brains don't develop until we're 25. And so, but I have nothing to say at 38. This is a woman who clearly needs therapy. That's a lot. How old was your young lady? I'm guessing because your mama called you. So had to be 30.
This was like 18, 17, somewhere around that age. I was young.
That I expect a behavior from an 18 or 17-year-old. I do not expect that behavior from a 38-year-old woman. So let me ask you this, Mister. Do you find that you encounter, because that's an unhealed woman, and I'm pretty sure you watched our show about healed versus unhealed. Do you find that you
Mhm.
encounter in your dating life a lot of unhealed women?
Absolutely. There's a plethora of them. Sometimes it makes me wonder, are there any healed women? Because it's that bad out here.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think that you are not only attracting unhealed women, but you're also giving them your most valuable resource, which is your time? Like, at what point do you realize that this woman is unhealed and or unstable?
Well, I don't get to control who who is attracted to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know. So I don't know. But just my general observation, there really is a lot of unhealed women out here. And it's not really a matter of me dealing with unhealed women all the time, like exclusively or anything. It just seems to happen that way. Like there's too many in the pool to avoid them.
Ooh,
It's kind of what I'm trying to say.
I,
I
I,
mean,
I, I've heard that. I'm curious from the both of you before we move on. What would you say are the top three signs for you to know that a woman is unhealed? Like, what behaviors does she start to exhibit?
Insecurity.
Okay. In herself, in the relationship, in like, how does the insecurity show up?
Both. Um, I haven't had anyone like checking my phone or anything, but that is one sign, and it's a common occurrence.
Okay.
Uh, my personal experience with my last girlfriend,
Okay.
um, she kept asking me about if she should cut her hair or not, and I'm literally like, I don't care. It's good the way it is. And she kept asking me and asking me and asking me, and finally I just had to come out and say, I really don't care. Just don't cut it down to where your hairstyle looks like mine.
And you wanted her to just be able to make a decision based on what she wanted, not based on what you wanted.
I
Once
literally
you,
didn't
once you
care
get
either way. I
once
was
you gave
fine with it
your
the way it
opinion the
was.
first time, right? Like, because I think there are women who definitely want to hear their men's opinion about a decision that they're making, right? Because you still want to be attractive to your man. But once I ask my man something once and he's giving me his opinion, it's then up to me to take that opinion and decide based on myself what direction I want to go in. But what it sounds like is she kept asking you because she was looking for validation from you about her decision. She wanted to cut her hair. She just wanted you to validate her cutting her hair. That's what it sounds like to me.
more of
Maybe so.
maybe so, or maybe also a cop out. So let's say he said, "Yeah, baby, go and cut your hair," and then she cuts it and doesn't like it. Who's she
Then
going?
it's your fault.
Who's right? Who's gonna blame all this time to her?
Then
Well,
I'm to
it's your
blame.
fault. I gotta cut it. You told me I should have did it. You didn't. You know what I mean? And then now she's getting weed put in her hair. Now, I'm like, make a decision what you want to look like. Now, here's the problem. When it comes to that, most women they do things. They don't ask us what we want. She like here's example. She didn't ask him what he wanted. She wanted a haircut or whatever done. So she's like, hey, don't mind if I cut it. But she didn't ask him, hey, what style would you like me to have for my hair? There's two different things, right?
Hmm.
Saying so you already have in mind what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But you never ask him, hey, what style would you like prefer my hairstyle to be? See,
So you're not really asking. So going back to what I said previously, she wasn't really asking for his opinion. She was asking for validation on her decision.
exactly.
And in
Right.
the men's mind, validation so that if you do something and I affirmed your decision and you don't like it, you have somebody to blame, which is me.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of time, y'all don't like to take accountability.
I mean, I know it's a dirty. I say this all the time on the show. I say that a lot of women don't take accountability. Y'all know how I say. I get it. I listen. I have to deal with women who on the internet have told me to go back to 1825 and have called me a pick me and so forth because I think accountability. I come from a culture of accountability. I come from a culture of raw, straight facts and truth. Right? It is what it is. You walk in and you're fat, your Jamaican grandmother is going to tell you, Lord, you put out weird tea, my goodness, what man's going to want you? No man, no one, like, that's kind of where I come from. So for me, accountability is, I grew up around accountability. So I agree, there are a lot of women who are not accountable for their action. This is why this is a master class. This is why I want to hear from men on this show, because you hear lots of shows with women's opinion, and we have no problems talking about our opinions and what we think about men. I created this show to be able to have a platform for men to share opinion with a woman's perspective on it, right? And vice versa. So this is what I love about this show. So thank you. If there's anybody else who wants to come to the front of the stage and join this conversation, man or woman, we invite you. Yes, Twins, you got one more before I pull the question. Yes, sir.
Yeah, since we're still on the topic of looks and stuff like that too, or insecurities or things or red flags, anytime that I don't know how it comes up, but you're not you, but the lady we were talking to,
Virgo, you. Yep.
yeah, or just have a somehow the BBL conversation comes up, right? And when I say BBL, I'm referring to like women who are built stack XYZ, right? And the ladies we talked to be like, well, that's what y'all like. I said, yes, we like to look at it and we like to do things to it, but we're not wifing those things up. You're so focused on that particular woman. Like most men, we like the natural look. So with that being said, if you're getting your nails done, I don't care about your nails. I never seen a girl say, hey bro, check out, hey yo, you see her nails? Oh my god, her nails are so, yo bro, they long, oh they curl up, you know what I mean? Like that don't do shit for us. Oh, hey bro, you see her eyelashes? Hey yo, them eyelashes, oh my god, fire, son. Yo, I'm about to wipe her up. Never. So with that being said, is that most of the time, ladies, y'all don't do nothing that we ask for or we like. You know what I'm saying? It's all validation. So to go back to your previous question, you said how do all women, not all women, most women that are in their 40s and up dating are dealing with some type of insecurity because they're in competition with their 20-year-old self that they're not anymore.
Oh,
and now they're carrying luggage, aka kids and XYZ. That's the competition. And I could tell it's a problem because they get mad at the young girls that we look at. Oh, you don't want her, she's young and dumb.
oh,
And I'm thinking like, well, 20 years ago, that was you.
oh.
So why are you hating now? Because you're no longer in the competing round, or you know what I'm saying? You no longer the guy, we ain't looking at you no more. Now, granted, we ain't looking at 20-year-old girl. We're looking at maybe like 28, 29, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is you're in competition with them. Insecurity
And
right
it's
there.
really,
Go ahead.
and it's really no competition either, because
Mic drop.
you can't.
You ain't gotta say nothing else right there. There ain't no competition. Cause I don't care how much you dice yourself up, put all this cake on, or not cake, icing on your face, fake nails, fake hair, fake eyelashes. You'll never be what you were 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's impossible to regain that youth. Once it's gone, it's gone.
And we just talking about the outside. We didn't even talk about the inside, and that's a whole nother topic. Go ahead. Pull the next card.
Thank you for the answers, gentlemen. I have nothing. Okay, moving on. Okay, would you automatically disqualify someone you had sex with on the first date from being wife/husband material for you? So you slap it on the first date. Is she still in contention to be in a relationship with?
You mean I hit it on the first date?
Yes, yes. I'm Jamaican, so we said different things. Yes, you hit it on the first
Mm, I don't know.
I'm gonna let you marinate on it. I'll let you marinate on it. Let me jump in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the answer is yes and no. The reason why I say is yes and no, because if I've been talking to you for weeks or maybe a month or so, and we finally meet up in person, okay, sex may happen because we kind of built out that chemistry. So
time.
yeah, if we go out the first time on a date and it hits off really good, and then we make it back to my crib, back to your crib, no, we're good. We're gonna keep moving on. Now, it's the first time I'm at Walmart or Kroger getting something. I bump into you. Oh, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, we can get something to drink? Yeah, we get something to drink. We hit off. Yeah, we're done. That's a hit and quit. I'm done.
Thank you for your answer, Mr. Mister.
As for me, I'm not looking to get married right now. So I wouldn't necessarily disqualify her for marriage because I'm not looking for that in the first place. Relationship though, yeah, I don't think I would disqualify her for a relationship. I'd kind of play it as based on the individual. Because although that can indicate some things, it's not the same for every woman. And there are many cases out there of people who hooked up on the first date and they ended up being together for years after that.
Agreed.
Now, I'm not saying that's like the number one strategy, and that's not the majority, but I don't see it as a disqualifying thing either.
That's fair. But the one thing I would say that you said first is that one, I'm not looking to get married. So that kind of changed the whole dynamic of everything that you do as far as dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I'm all good.
Yeah.
I'm all good with a long-term relationship, but I'm not signing that paper.
Piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
One-sided. Not even double. Just one-sided piece of paper. But go ahead. I'm done.
I don't think that this is a question meant for women because women control sex, but men control relationships. So therefore, it doesn't matter if I have sex with him on the first night, third night, fourth night, 150th night. Men control relationships. So that is not for me to determine whether I'm going to find somebody husband material, because a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So
wait. When you say man controls relationship, what do you mean by that?
In terms of, it's the man who determines if we're in a relationship. I can't come to Mr. and be like, I like you, come be with me. Right? Like, he's gonna make like this man said clearly he doesn't want to get married. So there's no woman who's going to come and say, let's get married if he does not want to get married. He's gonna make the decision if he wants to be married. And I think that's the issue that a lot of women make, is that they put themselves in a situation where they're actually in relationships with single men because they think that based on this man's actions or words, they're in a relationship. But until a man says you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship. But a man, when I say women control sex, we're the ones who determine the first time we have sex. We're the ones who determine if we have sex, because for a man to determine that, that's a crime, right? You don't get to say we're having sex tonight and then go take sex from me. That's actually a crime. It's a criminal offense. We decide that we're going to have relations and so forth. So for me, like saying if I have sex with a man, is he husband material? How is he going to become my husband unless he acts? So he's going to make the determination that I'm wife material. That's the way I look at it, because I will walk over hot coals butt ass naked before I ever get down and talk to no man about come be with me, let's get married. I'm good on that. We digress.
Got it.
Let's go. Okay, you're about to get into your significant other's car and notice the passenger seat is not how you left it. Do you inquire about it or not? Are we 12? Like, go on, gentlemen. Answer this question.
We did. It was the laugh.
Exactly, because I felt the same way. Like, so what is it to translate for the ladies who are watching this live and who will watch this later? What did the laughter mean from both of you gentlemen?
Well, for me, it's I'm kind of petty sometimes, so I would intentionally do that to the car against the link just because knowing that she got a dude. Petty. That's why I was laughing because I know all about it. And then, of course, when I get in my car, I'm like, oh. See, first off, I got my own car and she has her own car. And honestly, 99% of the time, she's the passenger princess.
Yes,
So,
I know that like very well.
I'm always driving. Like me getting the passenger seat is like, yeah, right. Good luck. We run to the car. I'm driving. Doesn't matter where we go. So I don't run to that situation much, but I have done that plenty of times. I would get in a girl's car and gangster leaning all the way back. I'm done.
Yeah, and I see that as highly suspicious behavior. You should have no reason to adjust the seat unless you're up to something. And I have adjusted a seat or two in my day.
You guys are killing me. Okay. Ladies, men are more savage than we give them. That's savage. I wouldn't even think to do anything. Like, it's not even my thought pattern, but that's funny that both of you, gentlemen in the chat, let us know. Are you out here adjusting seats when you go in women's cars? I'm just saying.
Most of the time, listen, on top of that too, most women that I've spoken to or dated or talked, whatever, I'm telling them anyway. So technically, there's no reason for the seat to be adjusted besides when I get in it. The same. So if I do adjust it and I get in, like, whoa, what's going on? Why? Like, unless I'm getting a car, I'm like this on the front dash because want me to drive out close. There's no way in the world I should be like falling back in my seat when I get in the car, because that's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of my seat adjustments have been my own seat, the driver's seat. To make room for a head between me and the steering wheel.
And we're done. We're going to move on to the next to the next question. Okay, this is an interesting one. A man has a side piece. Twins was breaking down side pieces for me last week. If you didn't watch last week's show, go back, rewind as he broke down the role of a side piece. So again, question is, a man has a side piece but claims he loves his wife with all his heart. Is this possible?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, and I second that. Yes.
So why does he have a side piece for the ladies?
Like, I don't understand why y'all don't get that.
For the ladies, explain. I am not here to answer these questions. I have you two gentlemen. I am good for the night.
Well, you better get your
explain to the ladies
with us. You better get somebody join you. I'm just saying, ladies, if you're in the chat, why do you not understand that men can love a woman, more than one woman at one time?
But does he love the side piece? Sorry to cut you, Twins. Does he love the side piece, or is he just having sex with the side? Like, how does the side piece work?
Well, based on this question, this is the question. What was the question again?
A man has a side piece, but claims he loves his wife with all his heart. Is this possible?
Okay, so yeah. Because so this is an easy one. Yeah, easy, because I love my wife to death, or you know what I'm saying? But she know her role. She just a hit, and that's it. Oh, that was a bar hit. That's it. Bar. Anyway, yeah.
So is it hold on. I'm gonna ask a question before you answer, Mr. Mister. So is it that the wife isn't providing him something that the side piece is? And if it's just a hit, is it that somehow this side piece is more sexually liberated? Like, I understand the peace component. I understand the peace side where you say a woman, you go to a side piece because she potentially provides you with peace. But I have a counter to that is, why would you then stay in something that's chaotic if over here is peaceful? Why not just leave the situation all alone and get with a woman that you can be with that actually is your peace? So there's that argument. But for the woman you're just having sex with, is she just doing more sexually than the wife?
I mean, well, the question is, let's go back to it. The question is, based on the question, can a man still love his wife by having a side piece? And the answer is yes. So,
but I want you to explain to the woman them why would I, so you love me so much but you still have a side piece, why? But before you answer, Royce Monroe is saying communication breakdown when there is a side piece. So he feels that there's a communication breakdown when there's a side piece.
I wouldn't say okay, I can go with that as well. But also I'll say this: in marriage and in relationship, whatever it is, there's no accountability on the woman's side. Simple as that. I can't make a woman do something that she don't want to do.
That is correct.
Okay, then. So, you know what? Cool. I still love you to death. I ain't gonna trip on it. Oh, okay. This person over here, she going whatever I need to do. Cool. She bound. I tell you this: there's some men out there who've been in marriages over 20 plus years, and what kept that marriage together was the side piece. Message. I'll let that marinate for a second.
Mr. You're up. I'm just listening.
Now, disclaimer for me, I have never participated in side piece behavior. It's just not something I've ever done or have been interested in. But with that said, I can understand why it happens. Because one thing that women seem to not understand about men is that our dick is not connected to our heart.
Say that again. Please say that again.
One thing women do not understand about men is that our dick is not connected to our heart.
No emotion in it. No emotion. When I have sex with my wife, I'm making love to my wife. When I'm having sex with the side piece, she's just getting fucked. That's it. No feelings attached.
No more emotion than you picking this person that does a massage and that person that does a massage. No more emotion than that.
Ladies, again, there is a masterclass happening tonight. That is a clip. I hope it goes viral. Share it with all your friends when I put it out this weekend, because they said it. You heard it here. Take it in and do what you want with the information.
Think about this. When most men, let's say when men get caught, most of us will say, listen, she don't matter. It was nothing. Because that's what it is. It was nothing. Like, it was nothing. It was just no emotion behind it. Like, she means nothing to me, and she doesn't.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Listen, we're telling you what it is, not you. But I'm just saying, like, when that situation happened, men tell you what it is, and y'all just want more. Yeah. Why me? Why couldn't you do this? Why? I'm telling you, because she don't matter. Okay, I'm done. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Okay, a woman gets an abortion during a rough patch of her relationship and doesn't tell the man. They go on to get married. Is the marriage built on a lie?
Well, whose baby?
It was his baby.
So.
Are you saying she got an abortion and said that she miscarried?
No, she didn't tell him at all she was pregnant. She just had an abortion. So they were going through a rough patch. She didn't say that she was even pregnant. She just went and had an abortion. And then they get married, and he does not know that the woman he's married to aborted his baby. Is that marriage built on a lie?
I guess how you find out.
If he even finds out at all.
I mean, if he don't find out, then no harm, no foul. But more than likely, he found out either because A, they got an argument and she threw in his face, or 2, maybe he saw some medical records and came across his face, so he got blindsided with it. So, like, Come on now. How was presented to him?
Yeah, and you're just reminding me of a story from about 20 years ago. I had a coworker, and she told me when she was married to this one guy, they got in a fight, and she claimed to have aborted his baby. And he was distraught and everything, and just totally emotionally messed up over it. Turns out she wasn't pregnant at all. She
Oh
admitted
my
to me
God.
she wasn't pregnant at all. And they ended up divorcing. And years after the fact, he has brought it up several times about the baby that she aborted. And she's still maintaining the lie just to hurt him. But she was never pregnant at all. But she's still maintaining the lie that she aborted his baby.
So once again, it goes back to what I said. How did the guy find out about it? And it could be, and the kind I heard a story similar to that where a guy couldn't have a baby, or he was one of them people, low sperm count, whatever, had problems with it, right? So apparently, eventually he was able to get her pregnant, but she aborted. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a very similar scenario. And then she told him, and then when she told him, because she got in a fight or argument, and she threw it in his face. So, yeah.
And by the way, this woman that in my story, she was in her 30s at the time she's telling me this. So this isn't just a young woman thing.
I have nothing for these stories. I have nothing. What can I say? This is just
She keep talking
this
like
behavior is
something over there.
that's awful. Like that is, I could not imagine doing that to somebody and then lying about it for years, making that person think that they could have had a child out there and they don't because you did. Like that is awful. That is diabolical, and it's actually borderline evil. Like it's evil. Like I have no other things, but that's actually evil, and that woman clearly needs to get help. Okay, this is the controversial question. It's going to be one of the last questions to the night because this is a question that I hear women talk about on other shows that they hate the most. I know it's not body count. It's the other question of what do you expect your partner to bring to the table in a relationship? Gentlemen, who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. At the top of the list, femininity. A good positive attitude, like she's pleasant to be around. She can cook some good healthy meals. And it doesn't need to be like 3 meals a day like my ex-girlfriend, but if you do 1 or 2, that's all good with me. Good sex. And able to hold.
I think I disconnected, but I'm pretty sure
Mr. Be able to hold a conversation. Is that what you're saying?
intelligent conversation. We won't go with those. So until he comes back,
I hear you now.
There you go. What's your first one? What was the last one you said? Able to what?
Able to hold a good conversation.
That's what we thought. Okay, great. So that's good. That's a good 5. Is there any more?
That's it for now.
Perfect. Great answer. Twins.
I'm copying.
And gentlemen in the chat, if you guys are listening, get your list up too.
I'm copying his list. That's it.
Oh, that's your list as well?
Yep.
Gentlemen in the chat, I see Royce Monroe. I think James was in the chat. Joe's in the chat. Like, come on, gentlemen. I want to hear it. Because here's the thing, ladies, and this is where I'm talking to the ladies. There are 5 things mentioned, and none of them was your money. None of them was your education. None of them was your accolades that you run down on the dates. None of them was you bring your own table and chairs. None of them were that. I heard femininity, good sex, the
Friendly.
ability to have a good conversation, to have a positive attitude, which means also have a great personality, and the ability to nourish your man. Because that's what cooking is, ladies. It's the ability to nourish his body. You're nourishing his body so that he can go out into the world to do the protection and the provision that you want, which is the finances you want him to bring to the table. You cannot feed a man DoorDash with high sodium and high fat and say, yes, go ahead and go and protect and provide for me. And I can't even nourish your body, which is actually a sign of love. Cooking for my man is a sign of love and affection because I care about him. So it's not part of the patriarchy and isn't men being misogynist and wanting their mamas. It's just actually a sign of affection because that's what we do for our children. I didn't go out and buy my daughter McDonald's every day. No, I cooked. I mashed up her little potatoes when she was younger and her carrots. I didn't go out and buy the Gerber things because I wanted to show her love, and that was the way I nourished her body. So ladies, when we hear men speak, we need to listen to understand, not to respond, because that's what I heard, gentlemen. So tell me if I missed something in my interpretation of your words.
You got it right. And
Okay.
furthermore, these things make a man want to provide for you. It makes a man want to do things for you. So women who do these kind of things, they don't really have to ask their man for much. He already wants to do them, and he's looking for things to do for her to show his appreciation.
Another clip that will be up this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're having a master class. So Royce Monroe says what he would like his woman to bring to the table is emotional, spiritual, and financial maturity. Maturity. Maturity is a key word.
That's a big
Financial,
word.
spiritual, and emotional maturity. Go on. I feel like you got to say something about that, Mr. Mister. Why do you say
Didn't
that's a big word?
didn't we? Hasn't that been a theme the whole night so far about emotional maturity? Some of the stories that we've told you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one right there.
Whew. Again, I'm just gonna pick a card. Any card. Here we go. Ah, oh my good God. Okay, this one is about to be salacious. Okay. Your friend with benefits arrives at your house unannounced. They text, I'm outside, and you are in bed with the person you hope will become your significant other. What do you do? I mean, I'm actually going to even answer this question. That's pretty simple. I would think you would ignore the person that says I'm outside. Like, what else is there for you to do? But, gentlemen, you answer that question. I've never been in this scenario. Twins.
Yeah, so I have a no pop up policy. You can come to my house all you want. You be knocking and banging all day, and I'll be here chilling, mind my business, like you're Jehovah's Witness outside. I will not answer my door. I don't care what you're doing out there.
Jehovah's Witness.
I'm just saying. So I don't play that pop up. I never no. I no. Mind you, I mean, granted, you can't control nobody, but I make it very clear. I don't do pop ups. Do not come here unless I told you to come over, or your feelings will be hurt. That's all. Never had.
And
Never.
I
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I never been in that situation because only times I ever had a friend with benefits was just, to pass the time at the time.
So, ladies, don't be popping up at people's houses. And I don't even know who would think to do that. Like, unless I'm your woman and I'm showing up with, the whole trench coat and stilettos with lingerie on and I baked you a cake, okay, or made a great meal. Like, I'm just not popping up at some man's house that I had said. Like, that's just messy. To point, Royce Monroe just said messy in the chat. Like, that's just messy. Like, why would you do that? Like, it sounds a little stalkerish to me, but that's just That's just my opinion. I don't do pop-ups because I don't want nobody popping up on me. Okay, I think this is going to this is going to be our final question. Okay. A woman catches her husband in a non-sexual emotional affair. She tells him it's worse than a non-emotional sexual affair. Do you agree? Why or why not? So I'm actually going to answer this question. Cheating for me is not a deal breaker in a relationship, but choosing is. And when you are getting emotionally attached to the woman, because again, back to what Mr. said earlier, as women, we need to understand that your dick isn't attached to your heart. That was his quote. But when your dick and your heart come together, I have a problem. So now I am not advocating for my man to go out and cheat on me. But if he has a drunken night in Vegas with the boys and has sex with the woman, that is a different situation. If he is texting her and concerned and knows her birthday and her children's schedule and is sending her flowers because she's had a bad day and showing up to take her for lunch, his dick and his heart have now come together. And even if his dick isn't involved, let's see if he take his dick out of it, just his heart is now intertwined with another woman. I can tell you, for me, that would hurt more than the woman that you guys talked about that you've had sex with and she means nothing. Because now she's taken the part of you that is actually, for me, supposed to belong just to me. And if I'm looking at your phone and you've got secret texts and you got little emojis, first of all, men don't even do emojis. So now I'm looking at your text, you got emojis, and there's like a book length of back and forth. And no, thank you. For me personally, that's worse. But I'd love to hear what you gentlemen have to say.
That's the iffy one for me, because I like to get on the woman's good side. So I'm gonna remember your birthdays, your all the good stuff. I remember all those important things. So if I get caught, I'm like, it still don't mean nothing for me. Now, I'll say this, it only becomes an issue if I remember her birthday, but forget yours. I remember when I first talking to her, but forget our anniversary. Now that's a problem there. Then okay, I'm really emotionally attached to her versus you.
Correct.
But you have to. I mean, that's for me. Me personally, each man is different. But for me, that it'll be more. It'll take more than that to be like I'm emotionally attached to that girl. Because I'll say whatever makes it sound good. While I get the draws, I don't care. I'm keeping the buck. Like I play that game. I'm like, okay. Oh, your birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Cool. I will play my role. If I put a target on you, I'm gonna get that target.
Not target. What the woman that you want for whatever reason, that's the target? I've probably been a couple of men's targets.
I'll say this. If you put me in that friend zone, I will play that friend zone part all the way to the T. Because I'm still doing my thing over here with whoever else, whatever. Okay, I'm in your friend zone. I'll be in your friend zone. I remember your birthdays. I remember the holiday. I remember your ex-boyfriend. He did you dirty, XYZ. I'll be that comforter for you. I'll do all that. Oh. And then once I get it, I'm out.
But if you're in the friend zone, why are you even getting it? Because you're a friend. My friend zone guy stayed in the friend. I told you I had a guy who basically broke up our friendship because he said he'd basically been waiting around for years and realized that it was never going to be. And I was like, I don't know when you ever thought we would be together, because I made it very clear it was never going to happen. You're not my type. Like, it's never going to be. So for me, then you weren't really in the friend zone. You were in the let me see what else is out there, but I got a man over here that when it's time for me to settle down, he's there, only for you to just be waiting for her to give up the lingerie and you're good to go.
What I've learned over the years, is that y'all get weak at times.
I don't get that weak. They've got Amazon Prime.
You say that. You say that. Listen, I'm just saying that women have got weak.
Hey, Jack.
And then once they get weak, I'm there to heal them for them.
They have Amazon Prime. I've never got. So let me tell you, funny enough, my story. My story with why my friend broke up with me. So we all know I have not been in a relationship since last year. I've also not had relations since last year when I left my ex. This is in March of 2023. It's been a long time. So he takes me on a business trip because he hired me to do an event for him. And while we're on this trip, he starts drinking and he's texting me that he wants to go back to my room and give me not sex, but he wants to eat my woo-ha, okay? And I'm very sober because I don't drink. And I'm like, no, thank you. Like, no, thank you. And he's insisting. Now, granted, he's paid for my entire trip. He's paid for my flight. He paid for my Uber. He paid for, and he's also paying me for my services, which I was emceeing the entire event. I do a good job. So he now is saying all of that. I say no. We come back, and he basically sends me a breakup text of, I've been waiting, I've seen the men you dated, and here I am, and you won't give me none. Well, you are a friend. I don't know what you're waiting for, because I made it clear to you that you are friends, and it doesn't matter what you do. I don't want to be with you. And at this point, this was in April, it had been over a year since I had sex, and never once to get weak. I have Amazon Prime.
See, the difference in that scenario, he tried to buy it. He tried to buy it. No. A lot of men try to.
I'm
just saying, but that scenario
try to buy. Every date is a down payment on sex. Let me tell you that every date is a down payment on sex. Most men try to buy it, and I've been on some great first date that men have paid like $1,000.
Yeah, but we're talking about this friend though. We ain't talking about date. We're talking about this friend. See, dating guy you just met versus the friend who's been around for years or whatever it may be.
He's been around for years.
My point exactly. It's a big difference there. He tried to buy it. He bought your plane ticket, took you on a trip, did all this. He tried to buy it. That's the difference. Now that's the true definition of a simp right there. He tried to buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not doing all that. I would never do all that.
It was also a business thing because I was doing a service. He did pay for, if that wasn't the only one he paid for, he did pay for other people who he had taken on the trip, but he wasn't asking other people.
Don't make it sound good now. Don't try to make it sound good. Don't move the goalpost now. You said what you said. He did. Now you want to bring everybody in here. No, that's what we, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, he did do a little extra for me. He did do a little extra for me. Like,
all right, then. So forget everyone else. Let's call it what it is. He tried to buy it. That's what he tried. He tried to buy it. That's what he did. And that's why it fell for him. And that's why his feelings were hurt, because he spent all that money expecting him to get something in return.
Okay, so I'm actually going to read. Jack Spade has said two things. So I'm going to start with Jack Spade said she's getting the dick and the heart, but she's not getting the money. He dies in a fiery car crash. The wife is getting all his 401k and term life policy. Hilarious. And by the way, I'm going to read Jack Spade's other comment, but Royce Monroe gave you a mic drop on your last commentary, I guess, about him being a simp and trying to buy me. But I digress. Jack Spade said, now, if you two weren't friends, was the patty woo-ha a decent possibility?
We need answers. That was a question. I see a question mark. What's the answer?
I love our viewers. That was patty woo-ha is my new thing. It still wouldn't have been a possibility. because when I don't want you, I don't want you. And you're never going to catch me in a weak moment because I'm never that weak. I'm able to control my nether region. And so, no, Jack Spade, the patty patty woo-ha would have still not been a possibility because I didn't want you. Because again, if I wanted you, you wouldn't be a friend. You'd be someone who I'd be open to pursuing me to give you the patty patty woo-ha. So I don't take my men friends out of the friend area and put them in a relationship until or unless I feel like we have some, and when I'm not, y'all know, Mr. be telling me about my 6'7" list, okay? Y'all know I like my man to look a certain way, be a certain height, and he was 5'8", and it was never going to happen. I will buy a dog and die alone.
See, that was scary right there. The fact that he was 5'8", and he probably knew that too.
Then he knew that. He's seen all the men I dated.
Yeah. So I'm glad that friendship is over because some people go crazy afterwards.
Right? Imagine I'd given them the patty patty woo-ha, the patty patty woo-ha. Jack Spade, literally my new word. Imagine if I'd given him the patty patty woo-ha and then, then said, nah, I'm good. And then he sees me dating the type of men that I always date because I have a pattern, then he's going to be upset. I got a whole breakup text, it was a long text basically ending our friendship because I wouldn't give him the patty patty woo-ha to lick it, not even to stick it in. He just was like, I just want to lick it and do the thing to the patty patty woo-ha. No, sir. Mm-mm.
All right, sorry about that, Mr. Miss. We took over. Go ahead. I want to hear your response to that question, sir. Go ahead. If you need to repeat the question, just ask her to read it all over again. Sorry.
Sorry, Mister, but I was so upset. Like, how dare you? Do you want me to repeat the question?
You need to get a sound clip of that Busta Rhymes song. Got you all in check. That's all I've been thinking for the past 5 minutes.
I was so irritated because first of all, and you know what, Twins, I think that was part of it too. I think you're actually right. I think part of the irritation for me was like, are you trying to buy me off here? Yes, you have hired me to do a job, right? But the extras that I got, you were clearly trying to put me in a good mood for me to say like, oh, he's a great guy. I know you're a great guy. That's why you're my friend. I don't tend to be friends with assholes. I'm friends with good guys. You're just a good guy that's not my type and not somebody that I want in my patty patty woo-ha.
Good guys finish last. You heard it first.
Jack Spade said, now if you, he, and a bear, you know what? We're the only living mammals left on Earth. Who would get the woo-ha if they asked? The tree. The tree. I would rub it up against a tree. I'm not giving it to either one of them. Neither one of them is getting the patty patty woo-ha. And Royce Monroe has died at Jack Spade's question. I will rub it up against a tree. Okay? I don't know. I'm not. If I don't want you, I don't want you. It's no. I just don't want you. So good on the women who take men out of friend zones, because clearly Twins has been in a lot of y'all nether region, your patty patty woo-ha, once you took him out of the friend zone. But I am never that vulnerable. But also I have options because I'm bisexual, and so I can get a woman if needs to. I don't need you, and she's gonna do a better job with my patty patty woo-ha than you can because she knows how to find my spot. But maybe that was TMI for all of you online, but this show's called Fuck Your Feelings. So there we go. Maybe I'll ask one more question before we go.
Hold on. Before you ask the question, let Mr. respond to it.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Not to that, but to the actual
30
question.
different things.
Actually, you know what? We're not going to go into the questions. What we're actually going to do, because Mr. is actually online with us for the first time in all of the months he's become an amazing subscriber, we're going to actually do our dating tips. And Mr. actually gives some really good dating tips in the comment section that nobody ever gets to hear unless you run into our comment section, which you could. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. But Mr. Please, we're asking you for the first time as you join us, give a dating tip to the ladies tonight.
It's an oldie but goodie. Don't have unprotected sex with anyone you're not married to.
That's pretty simple.
And it
But is it though?
eliminates at least 80% of the problems that women come across in dating. And men, for that matter. Both sides.
He never lied. That is very true. There's a lot of babies who were, that's all we got to say. Twins! Twins.
Yeah, for my fellas out there, if you're gonna pay for it, you can go to Vegas. You can outside the country, okay? Let's stop paying. Let's stop trying to pay for something that we're not gonna get. Okay. That's my tip. Vegas, passport. Thank me later.
Ain't lying about that.
Thank me later.
You even got places around the world called blowjob bars where you just go there, pay your money, take you upstairs, you just get the best blowjob you ever got. If you're gonna pay for it, do that.
And don't take women on trips and pay for their Ubers.
Exactly. Don't pay on trips, don't buy Ubers, don't buy no food, don't buy no drinks, don't buy nothing. No. If she lets you know right away that you ain't it, let her go. On to the next one.
Mm-hmm. She got to earn a happy meal out of you.
Exactly.
Not earn a happy meal. Gosh, damn.
That poor man probably having nightmares right now because of you.
Mm-hmm. Dinner is for your girlfriend, not for these randos out here.
You okay over there?
I've enjoyed some good dinners over my years.
See, ladies, fellas, don't let these cute girls drag you, bro. Don't let it happen.
Buying her dinner is a waste of time.
Exactly.
Until you know she's yours.
Yes. Wait. It's not your turn, bro. It ain't your turn.
Okay. Before I give my So, gentlemen, if it's not dinner, what would you suggest a man who's courting a woman? Because there's got to be a courting period until you become the girlfriend, correct?
Says who?
I don't. But how quickly are you gonna? You're not making a woman your girlfriend my situation is unique, but like you're generally not doing it in a week or two over a few conversations and bam, she's your girlfriend, right? Like that's generally what happens. So there's a period of courting. So what are you doing during that courting period?
You know, nature is a beautiful thing. I enjoy long walks on the beach, a stroll through a park, the simple things in life.
Yeah, I like that too.
Don't cost any money.
Mm-hmm. I do. Throw in an ice cream for me and I'm good.
Ice cream costs money.
Right,
you got to earn some ice cream.
You know what I'm saying? She wants something for their time, and I don't care if it's ice cream or icy or something. Just can't go for a walk.
So I'm just going to be walking all kinds of kilometers, parched and nothing to wet my palate.
I mean, you're adult. You ain't gonna bottle water with you? I brought bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
You want to share the water with me?
Yeah.
And if she really likes you, she's not gonna be asking all this stuff of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because she'll give it to Tyrone for free.
Come on, see.
Shit.
There you go. See?
If you're her Tyrone, you ain't got to come out of your pocket.
Mm.
Royce Monroe was saying Mr. mic drop. So he agrees with both of you, and I'm just gonna read what Jack Spade has up here. And apparently Jack Spade has some advice about the blow shop. He says, and when you get to the blow shop, ask for a turnpike because you got to pay to get on and you got to pay to get off. This is clearly for the men because I don't know what a turnpike is. And I'm not sure I want to know, Jack Spade. I'm just going to leave that one for the men. My advice to the women, listen to what men have to say, because tonight has been quite enlightening. And listen to understand, not to just respond, because the men here tonight are giving a master class on dating and relationships, both in the comments section and the two wonderful men I've been joined with tonight. So instead of listening to get emotional and respond when a man says something you do not like, truly listen to understand, because these men are actually telling you what men are talking about when they're talking about us and relationships. That's all I got. You come to this show. We have the most honest conversation. I am not here to argue with men about what men talk about. I'm here to learn from them so that my dating life can be much better than it is, because these men advice mean a lot to me and they should mean a lot to you. So that is it for tonight, Mr. Mister. You do not know how grateful we are that you finally took me up on my offer after months of asking. We hope you join us again. Your insight has been amazing. Thank you for all of the support you've actually shown us over the last few months with your comments. You do not know how much it means to me, because when I started this show over 2 years ago, this is exactly the type of engagement I wanted to have with men. And Twins knows, because he was with me for the ride from the very beginning. And he knows I have not changed, because I wanted to really change the conversation around Black relationships between men and women. So I thank you. I'm going to bid you good night with Jack Spade's final comment. He says, nah, don't listen to us. We finally got the dating game in the position we've been working hard to get it to.
Big facts.
I've got nothing. I thank you all. Twins, do you have any final words before I ask Mr. Mister for his final word?
Nope, I have nothing additional.
Mr. Mister, your final words being our guest tonight.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invites, and I enjoyed this.
Thank you, and we hope you join us again. And keep making those comments in the comment section. Again, everybody, like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about us, because we are out here changing the conversation around Black relationships. So good night, everybody. I'm going to go eat my food. Bye. Good night.